Will an asteroid hit Earth in 2032? Let's find out.
So, is an asteroid headed towards Earth? Well, first of all, there are always asteroids headed towards Earth. What we care about is whether they'll actually hit us or have a near miss. I'd rather think of them as near hits. Because if you nearly miss something, to me that means you hit it. Anyhow, there's an asteroid recently discovered, 2024 YR4. That's its designation. And you know that was discovered late in the year 2024 because the letters are late in the alphabet. In fact, I think it actually puts us in December for 2024. The size of the asteroid is still uncertain, but we know it's somewhere between 50 and 100 meters. Some of that uncertainty will be overcome by tasking the James Webb Space Telescope. All of our great telescopes have operation modes where if there's a time-critical thing that's happening in the universe, time on the telescope gets allocated to that event. And this counts as one of those, let's task JWST for helping us figure out exactly how big this asteroid.
I'm gonna be 100% honest with you guys. I'm on the side of thinking that I believe that some of this stuff is theory. Bec- and it's based off of a man's opinion. That's it. And I could be totally wrong. Let me know if you think I'm wrong in the comments, and I'm fine with that. But I'm on the side of this Earth has been here for billions and billions and billions of years, created in a level of perfection. And the reason why I say that is everything that just so happened that the human body needs just naturally grows on the Earth. Man, we create all of these different agendas and ideas, but I could be totally wrong. But you might say, well, years ago, that's how the dinosaurs died. I'm sitting there thinking, like, according to who? Like, I could be wrong, but according to who?
It is. The right question to then ask is how much damage would it do? These things are moving very fast. The closing speeds are typically 20, 30, 40, can be as high as 50 kilometers per second. So that's a lot of kinetic energy being brought in. A good rule of thumb here is that the crater would be about 10 to 20 times the size of the asteroid itself. So 10 to 20 times something that's almost 100 meters, it would leave a crater between 1 and 2 kilometers across, right? A little less than a mile, perhaps. If the asteroid hit a city, leaving a crater nearly a mile across,
Little fear tactic right there. I could be wrong, but this is where a lot of the money goes to exploring um, some imagination. Again, I'm on the side of this. I'm not a flat earther, or I honestly don't think we honestly know. I think people have um, suspected. I think this is all speculation in terms of where what's out there in space and things of that nature. What the sun is, what the moon is, um, and they give it to us as fact. So, for example, this guy he has a huge title. I think it's like a physicist or something. I don't know. But when we hear that, we're like, oh, wow, he knows. But in reality, they're studying the same material that we have access to. And most of these things are theoretical.
that would be completely devastating, destroying many buildings, killing many people.
I could be
Most of
wrong.
Earth is water. Most of what is not water, that is land, is uninhabited. So chances are, if it does hit, it's not going to harm anyone. If it happens out in the middle of nowhere, then it's just an interesting crater. We have one of those in Arizona. It's called Meteor Crater. It's almost a mile across, and you can sink a 60-story building in the center. And when you add it all up using this sort of
Then the person says, see. I'm like, you let me know who was here to know how that developed. That's all I'm saying. Is sometimes we got to start asking for a little bit more proof than some fancy title opinion.
arcane metric for describing the size of explosions, it would land at about between 8 and 10 megatons. 8 and 10 million tons of TNT, which was this metric invoked during the Cold War and the arms race to describe how much energy was being released with our nuclear weapons. So during that period, we actually detonated bombs of equivalent strength. And in fact, we detonated them in the ocean. And while there were local tsunamis, there wasn't a tsunami that took out the population of the world. So
This is what I mean, my man. This is what we do. We sit there and we, instead of exploring and admiring the beautiful earth that we have access to, we want to do things such as this. And if we come from the belief, and I do come from the belief that the earth is alive in a sense. So when we're doing these things to the earth, um, it also responds in certain ways. Now, that could be speculation as well, but I mean, what's the purpose of this?
you don't want to be there when it happens, if it happens. I'm just telling you, no,
It's not
civilization will
happening.
not come to an end. We will not go extinct. We will not have to worry that we will suffer the same fate as the dinosaurs. So chill on that. The estimate for the chances of it hitting us are down between, at this moment, between 1% and 2% at the time of this recording. Now, what does that mean? I'll tell you. It means that the orbital trajectory we have.
And he's not speaking as if this is theory. This is theory, but he's speaking as this is fact. What it means is what it might mean, what it could mean.
For it, when projected forward in time, has an uncertainty cone where the asteroid could end up anywhere in that cone, but more likely in the center of the cone. If it stayed in the center, you can ask, how close to Earth would it come? About the distance from Earth to the moon. Now, let me remind you how far that
Theory.
is. Often when people, if they were told to draw where the moon is from Earth, they might draw something like this. That's how it's shown in textbooks.
Well, they'll say, well,
They
we've
show
been
Earth
there
and the moon
before.
right there. That is not the distance. Okay? If Earth were this size, it would make the moon this size. Its distance would be 10 meters away, 30 feet or more away. That's the distance, well outside of this framing. So if this asteroid, 2024 YR4, stays in the middle of its cone of uncertainty, it will pass Earth at about the Earth-Moon distance. Very safe. It'd be fun to look at with telescopes. It should be detectable. So this chance that the asteroid might hit Earth, we can ask the question differently. Say, if it were to hit Earth.
I wonder if when you think about like ancient civilizations who had the cosmology mapped out in different parts of the earth, very similar cosmologies. I wonder if they calculated asteroids. Somebody put that in the comment section if you know anything about that.
What is the impact corridor that it represents? Since we can't pinpoint it exactly just yet, we can tell you what that part of Earth looks like. So it begins here just south of the equator in the Pacific, crossing the northern portion of South America, crossing the Atlantic Ocean, crossing northern Africa, crossing the Arabian Sea, India, and it ends right here in Southeast Asia. So this uncertainty is the intersection of its path and Earth's rotation. And that's what gives us this very long impact corridor. The press will make clickbait out of this, for sure.
Of course.
But as the orbit gets closer and closer to the 2032 January 22nd passage, that means our measurements will be better and better. So either that risk of hitting Earth goes to 100% or to 0. It will not stay in any number other than those two as our orbital calculations become more and more precise. 0, of course, there's nothing to worry about. 100%, at that level, we will know exactly where on Earth it will hit and when, so that we will be in a position to protect ourselves in advance from whatever damage it would cause. You may remember NASA had a mission to an asteroid to try to deflect its orbit, sort of as a test case in case something might be headed our way. Now that it has done that, knows how to do it, learned that it was successful, it gives us a little more confidence going forward for any subsequent asteroid that's discovered that might actually be headed our way. By the way, any country that has a planetary defense office is perking up right now because of these risks that we now know and can track. In fact, China, just as an example, didn't have a planetary defense office until this asteroid's risk was calculated. We can only be safer in this world if everyone thinks about this problem in a coordinated way, together. And I've been duly notified that 2024 YR4 lands at around a 3 on the Torino risk scale. One of my lifelong friends who I went to graduate school with, his name is Rick Binzel. He invented the Torino hazard scale. Let's see what he has to say about this. You were at a conference in Torino, Italy, where you proposed a way to track how hazardous an asteroid might be. So remind me what you put into it.
Yeah. So first of all, the Torino scale is a 10-point scale from 0 to 10. All right. 0 is really good and 10 is a really bad day for the dinosaurs. And the way you calculate where an object falls on the Torino scale depends on the size or the consequences of what that object would be if it struck the Earth versus the probability, the current best estimate for the probability that it could impact the Earth. And so it's 2 dimensions, consequence and impact probability.
So Rick, do we really have to remember these numbers on the scale?
No, on the Torino scale, we have the 0 to 10 system, but at the lowest level, things are green. You have a green level, which means, oh, this is normal. We're going to find a lot of these. We're currently at that next level up, which is yellow, which just says these merit attention by astronomers. So that's what level 3 is. And if the probability gets worse, we would go to orange, which means there's a possible threat here. And where we want to stay out of it.
I have a feeling that we're probably going to see that scale get a little brighter just because of the state of the world right now. It is absolutely changed since 2020. Absolutely changed in so many dynamics, in so many ways. So I don't think nothing. My belief, if we're going to ask about my belief, I think this is all smoke and mirrors. Personally, I could be wrong again, but that's just my belief. I just don't believe that if you believe in any form of spirituality, and that the Creator will put the world in a space, and it's like a going through this chaotic space with all of these rocks flying past. I just don't believe in that. However, I could be wrong, but it is my belief that we're going to see these numbers rise. Now, if we get to a red, I don't know. And then what's going to you'll come back to the video and say, well, we're at a red now. What's going to happen? I say, hey, man, we just saw them explode or do a simulation of similar bombs in the ocean. I just know that we have technology that that's why you got clearance. You got clearance at certain levels of a government. And I'm not saying that. Don't hear that. I'm just saying that there's a lot of things that we just don't know about this world that we live in.
Is the red zone of 8, 9, and 10, which means we have 100% probability of hitting the Earth, and now it's a matter of what would be the consequences. And those consequences depend on where the object lands.
So Rick, where is 2024 YR4 on the Torino scale?
So 2024 YR4 ranks a 3 on the Torino scale, which means if it were to strike the Earth, it would be a localized event. If it misbehaves, it would go all the way up to 8 on the Torino scale. That would be its maximum. And I think the important thing about a 3 on the Torino scale is that we like to emphasize that most likely when we get more data, we'll be able to reduce it to 0. And 3 is also sort of an alert to astronomers to say, let's pay attention to this object. We're not worried about it. No one is panicked about it. But let's get the data and make sure that it's going to miss.
So, as of this moment, that's what's up with that. Until next time, keep looking up.
Gotcha. All right. As always, I appreciate you watching the video. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. It's your boy Chris with House 11 2022. House 1122, and we appreciate you. If you're new to the channel, please like up the video. Let's get this video up so I can get past the YouTube algorithm. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so. And if you are subscribed to the channel, hit that notification bell so you can get all the updates when we upload. Our goal is to upload daily. Sometimes life happens and we can't do that. However, that's the goal. Now, our goal is also to react to all genres. If there is a video that you want me to react to, please let me know in the comments and I'll get to it. Peace.